Hey guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 297. I hope you guys had a fabulous day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 5:22, and freshen myself up, ready to just hit the gym, ready to face the day as it is. Now today I have to go to my work towards the evenings, right? I have a closing shift, therefore I will be gone from 3:30 all the way till 8:30. So I won't be back till 10 p.m. pretty much. So that means 5 hours of my time will be taken away today. Therefore, I had to restructure my day today so that I could get everything done just a little bit before I had to go to my work. Because it is important to do whatever you are doing. If you're forming a habit, to at least do it a little bit every single day. It doesn't have to be something crazy like you have to do it for like an hour or like 2 hours. But if you are starting to make a habit, just show up for 10 minutes, 30 minutes is enough to keep you in the momentum, to keep you in the flow state. Now, if you miss out on one day, don't be too distraught. We all make mistakes. But if you miss out consecutively for more than 2 days, it is when I notice that our commitment and eagerness to re-establish the habit becomes more difficult. Therefore, we have more restraint towards it. So, if you want to make your life more easier, if you want to make the process of forming habits more easy, then stay consistent. It doesn't matter if you do too much, just do a little bit. Therefore, today I'm gonna do around 2.5 hours to work on my problem set. After that, I'm gonna spend 1 hour drafting my website. And after that, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of my recalls, or otherwise you would call it testing. And then I'll probably just read for an hour before I have to go to the work. So that is the plan for today, at least, and that is the goals I want to tick off. Notice how I didn't say I want to complete my project, or I want to become smarter, or that I want to finish my drafting, because I don't know for certain if I can get that done. I don't know for certain if I can complete that project in X amount of hours. What I do know is I can sit there for 2.5 hours. What I do know is if I sit there for 2.5 hours, I'll learn something. So that is a measurement of process, right? You got to measure your process and not be so focused on the result, because the result will be there. But if you can't even sit through the process, then the result, you will never see it. That being said, I'm gonna get going to the gym, have some food, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing workout. And I'll see you guys this afternoon. So guys, it is around 12:30, and I just finished my first work block. And this time around, I didn't rely on AI. I just tried to look for the solution myself. I tried to really find where I can find the solution. And by doing so, I had more joy in learning. I had more joy in facing the discomfort. No longer am I trying to rely on something to better my improvement, but rather I'm finding this self discovery myself, finding exactly where I can improve on. Because sometimes when the answer is just presented to you, we take it for granted. Which is why I come to think a lot of us, me especially before, that we tend to take advice from successful people for granted. Like we know it's the right thing to do, but we don't do it. Why? Because, well, it is said abundantly. If we go online, if we go on YouTube, we go on TikTok, there's always that inspirational speaker. There's always that motivational speaker. And although what they're saying is totally logical, totally right to do, that if you just put your heart to it, put your mind to it, stay away from distractions, you'll become successful. Like we all know that's the right thing to do, but because the information is so givingly out abundantly, like it is so free, that we don't act on it. We don't take it seriously because we know that we know like what to do to become successful. Like we know we have to put time and effort to do the hard things. We know that we have to stay away from distractions, but we don't do it because we know it's the right thing to do. And certainly, I can relate this to my learning of self improvement. That when the information is given to you without you working for it, you don't appreciate it and you just let it fly over your head. So, taking this time today, this morning, to really sit in this uncomfortable and frustrating position allowed me to expand my mental capacity. It allowed me to expand my competence. Although I'm not really that much smarter, I have uncovered my holes in the buckets where I can fill them, where I can fill this knowledge gap so that I could become more competent. But if I relied on AI like I did yesterday, then certainly I would have never learned. Yes, I may have solved the issue, I may have solved the problem, but that is only in the moment. Tomorrow or in the next week, when I have new problems, perhaps similar problems, I will need to rely on someone else to solve it for me. And eventually, I will never solve my problem myself. And not knowing exactly what to do yourself is a horrible feeling. But I'm far from saying that we need to know exactly what to do for every single thing. Because I don't believe we have enough time for that. We don't have enough time to master everything in life. We definitely need to delegate our task. But I do believe there's a fine line where you have to at least know the foundations. You have to at least know how to put A and B together. If you can't even put A and B together, then you are lacking this competence yourself. Then you're robbing away your right to improve on this area that you suck at, because we cannot just always rely on everyone else to do the work for us. We can be interdependent, but first we have to be independent. We first have to be able to at least have the patience to try and overcome our challenges ourselves before raising our hand and saying, I give up or I need help. We always need to first put one step forward ourselves before we give up and say and rely on someone else. Because essentially, if you're not fighting for what you believe in, you are robbing away your right to become a better person. You are robbing away your potential from being released. Because if you don't choose to sit in this place of frustration, then you are robbing away your brilliance. So always remember, if you're frustrated, if you have a problem you cannot overcome, just know that the solution will come to you eventually. And the only thing that's stopping you from getting there is your lack of patience, not someone else, not that you are incompetent, not that the challenge is too hard, but you just have not much patience. Eventually, if you sit there long enough tackling at the same problem from different angles, you're going to find a solution. And I do believe I am getting closer to where I want to be. There are just some areas which I haven't yet overcome, but that's a good thing. You see, I managed to find today exactly where I need to look at. But if I didn't do so, if I just asked for help, then I would never have knew how to solve this problem. I would have never known what I am truly capable of and what I need to improve on. And this doesn't just go for coding. This can be applied for everything in life. I am only applying this in this subject because this is this subject which I find more relevance to. Of course, it could be anything. It could be the gym, it could be dating, it could be mathematics, it could be anything in life. If you don't sit there in the uncomfortable position, if you don't sit there in the moments of failure, then you never will increase your mental discipline. You never will expand your mental willpower. Because doing so means you have to sit in the moment of frustration. Doing so means you have to face the fear. You have to do the thing you are least comfortable with. That is the only way you are going to stretch your mind. That is the only way you are going to exercise your mental muscles. Unless there's other way, and I'm sure there's other ways to do so, but the most effective way I know so far, and what has worked for me, is to do the hard things, is to do the things you less want to do. Because by doing so, you become stronger. You build character, you build integrity, and you lay your foundations for your future. That being said, I am going to go have some food now and read for an hour and perhaps plan my personal website for my next project before I have to go head out to my job this afternoon and evening. But before I go, I just want to say for the quote of the day, which I have written right there on the whiteboard, is to really practice the principles you read from books or to practice the principles you hear from other people. And don't hold back because you are afraid of being indifferent. Don't let indifference stop you from doing what is the right thing. So, that being said, I'll see you guys in a bit.